Hey guys,
What's up?
how are you?
We are good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us. Oh,
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, man. We're good. We're good.
we're all just pulling up to the practice spot.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good.
Sir. What's up with you? How you been? How's your day?
Oh, my day just started. I'm on the
Oh,
other side of
shit.
the world.
There it is. Turn that off. Why not? Oh, you guys want to get on your own phone? Yeah. Sorry about that. My name's Justin. I play guitar.
Yes.
We have Martin does drums. Steve play drums.
I'm Fred, and I play guitar.
Awesome, man. Sounds good. Sounds good. So, shall we start?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, guys, Despierta EP is scheduled to be released on July 15th. So, can you tell me a bit about the songwriting and the production behind it?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, last year sometime, Paco had hit me up about starting the band up again, and basically we just got together and just started jamming out ideas. That ended up being 20 practices of us just having ideas, working on it, trying to get it a little further each time.
Yes.
We got it further every time we practiced. And then it turned into, we had 6 songs. Or actually, we only had 5 songs. The intro, the first song on the EP, actually came later, like right before we were about to record. Just off the idea that I had. But yeah, we just met up at like twice a week sometimes and just sat in the room and put it all together. Yeah, it was also during the shutdown for COVID, so it was like a ghost town outside. You know what I mean? Like, felt kind of outlaw. We weren't supposed to be meeting up. You know what I mean? Like,
That's interesting.
but we did it. We did it anyways. We did the damn thing anyways, and yeah, wrote 6 songs.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And did you put some kind of concept behind these songs?
At least for me, the concept, I feel like the concept came after the songs were written. I feel like all of us come from hardcore and metal and have a pretty wide variety of tastes in music. Punk, thrash, you name it, hardcore, metal, death metal, cumbia, like everything. You know what I mean? It is such a wide variety of music. And I think we all just kind of came together and yeah, exactly. And a lot of it honestly came super naturally. Like not a lot of it was, nothing was really forced. It wasn't like, all right, we have to make this sound this way, or you know what I mean? And like,
Yeah,
it kind of just came natural. And me and Martine have very good chemistry when we're writing. So it kind of, it just seemed effortless almost, which is cool.
sounds good. Sounds good. And talking about the cover art of the EP, it looks a bit interesting. So, what was the idea behind the cover art?
I think honestly,
I'm not able to hear him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that.
No
So
worries.
the idea kind of came together, and we kind of both said it out loud, and we were digging into our culture more of like the indigenous and the Azteca, the Maya,
Yeah.
And we kind of just were like, yo, I want some pyramids. I want this indigenous dude on the front, and he just slaughtered a bunch of people out of this pureness, like just, passion, and he had to fucking fight for his life. And that's kind of why, that's what we kind of spoke. And weirdly enough, the idea of the Maya or Azteca being, kind of going through this and then having an awakening just after battle.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. And last month, you guys had a pre-release of this EP, and it got totally sold out. So how was that experience?
Oh yeah! Wow. Selling that out of the CDs at RSB, the real big shit. Oh yeah.
Well, to be honest, we had someone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Perfect. Yeah, we had one of our homies just taking care of the merch table and selling our CDs, while of course we talked to other people that we haven't talked to in years. Some of our friends, I guess, people that have been following our music since we started, and people were just going up to the table and just picking it up. We're selling it just exclusively for San Jose, and I think we're giving it for $5. For $5. So a lot of people were picking it up. And of course, I personally have a few friends that are overseas, such like the Philippines or LA, and they were requesting it. Of course, so they sent me money, and I ended up just shipping it to them on my cost, because they've been following us for quite some time. So of course, I had to sneak some aside just so I can send those out.
Yeah.
Family and friends,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, see now that I took them, but it was incredible. All the support and all the love that we got back, especially for this new EP that we're going to be dropping soon.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And can you guys tell me how this all started for you?
Like from the beginning?
Yes, right from the beginning. Yes.
Like of the band, like as a whole?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how did the band start?
Oh, well, man. I'll
Can you see me?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Oh, there's my boy. All right, so in back in like summer 2004, I had to go to summer school and shit because I wasn't the greatest student. And Paco, ironically enough, wasn't the greatest student either. So we both had the same summer school class. And at the time, I wasn't making music. Paco had already made some music with some friends. But our summer school teacher was in a death metal band,
Oh.
And I didn't grow up to like rock music like that. Like I grew up listening more to like Mexican music and like rap and shit, But I had a curiosity to make music, and when Paco told our teacher that he made music also, he's like, stay after class and then we'll chop it up about music and bands and shit, So they didn't even invite my ass. I just stayed. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dude, like I want to stay in here what the conversation is like. And then right then and there, Paco and I met. And he's been stuck with me ever since.
Sounds good.
So Ozzy is Paco's younger brother. He plays bass, and then Justin and Fred have always been like people who we've met through the scene and have always just been friends of ours and brothers of ours. And you know, the pieces kind of align that way, you know. Justin's been with us a little bit longer than Fred, but Fred's always been there to hold us down and fill in for us and help us out, you know. And now he's playing a bigger role in what we're doing now.
Sounds good. Thank you. And can you tell me a bit about your first release of the video, Sangrando? So what was that song about, and how did you guys make up that video?
Yeah. So basically, we had our friends Alex and Gizmo come to the studio the whole time we were in there, and they literally shot footage and photos. Well, like even when we were oblivious to it and didn't know that they were filming. I honestly didn't know that it was going to be used for a music video, but it's tight that we got all of it because the video looks super good. There's a lot of footage. We stayed the whole weekend at the studio, like we slept there and everything. It was super cool. It was super cool to have like all that extra footage. I'm gonna pass it to Paco about what Sangrando, the song, actually means.
So the video kind of was, honestly, we were just documenting the studio. We did it in 2 sections. Yeah, we did drums, guitar in 1 session, and then we did vocals the next session. I actually did 8 hours, weirdly enough, which I don't think I was ready for. And then we do the last, I think Sangrando was the last of the dubs, and I yacked. Like I threw up, I regurgitated. I think we had just eating some pizza. And I remember like everything was documented, but that. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was documented, but that. And I was thinking like, oh my God, this has to go on a video. I was like, this, you know, it would go great with Sangrando. Let's see if we can put it on a video. And you know, Sangrando just really means bleeding. You know, sometimes you have to bleed to persevere, to grow, to have callus on your feet or on your hands because of how hard you've been working. So it's a sacrifice, but we easily sacrifice ourselves first before anyone. You know, we never put ourselves first. So Sangrando just means bleeding, just, you know, to get to the next healing process.
Sounds good to me. And you guys have planned some kind of touring after the release of the EP?
I don't think we planned. It was kind of like, let's see where it goes. And right now we do have some offers. A lot of people are kind of reaching out, and after a pandemic, everybody's performing, and it's kind of crazy how after having no shows or just being isolated a whole year, now you're in front of, you know, thousands of kids. Just kind of, you know, when before you would if you got 10 kids at your show, you know, that was probably like a great night, right? But coming out of you know, being involved with personal life and having these kids come out, like we didn't think about really doing much but releasing a record.
Gotcha. And you guys have been in the scene for quite some time. And would you like to share some of the great moments that you guys had on the road?
Yeah, I mean, we've all had, you know, pretty, you know, not just us, but everyone in here has probably been on the road for as long as we've been around. I want to say like 15 years, huh? So, and what's crazy enough is, you know, San Jose is such a, like, it was such a small community of metal, hardcore, and punk kids that you can count how many people were going to come out to see you just because we all know each other, you know? So I think building a collective of a family to where, you know, sometimes at home, things aren't going the way you want them to. So you kind of find the next best thing. And for us, it was either you find, you know, you get into the gang life, or you find something better, and we found music, you know. So I think creating a scene in San Jose that has flourished into something that you would never thought you would see, you know, people make it, bring the community, but in a bigger sense, you know, have 1,000 through 4,000 people come out and see you. Yeah. So like, I guess you can say that the starting of like the hardcore scene in the Bay Area, yeah, is a close-knit community for sure. So I think that just, you know, highlights how long we've been around. Mm-hmm. There's some other people that have been around longer than us, you know, our respects to the OGs, but we knew, you know, coming into this, it was not something that, it wasn't something where we're like, hey, let's make it happen, let's make some money. It was more like, let's fucking play some shows and let's hit the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
that's, but I mean, at least, I don't know if Justin wants to add anything, or Martin. That's what the scene we've been around.
To you, this is on me.
No, it's no.
I guess what the biggest impact so far has been how the shift of momentum. You know, before the Bay Area, specifically San Jose, wasn't really looked at as a prominent scene in hardcore, metal, and other genres. You know, although a lot of great bands have came from our area, most of the time, you know, people are looking at LA. They're looking up here. They would always, you know, straight to San Francisco. People really wouldn't make stops in San Jose or Oakland area. You know. Mm-hmm. Now, through the effort of all the bands that came before us, our time, and now the newer generations taking it a step further, like it's creating a momentum that I feel is resonating throughout our local scene here and beyond.
Sounds good. That's good.
Yeah, man.
And the cultures of Maya, Inca, and Aztec, these are the cultures that was taken away from the world, and there may not be a lot of people who are about to talk about what has happened. So would you?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, I was talking about the cultures of the Maya, Inca, and the Aztecs. Those are the cultures that was taken away from the earth, right? So in the modern days, like bands like you who are bringing back those things, and to remember people, these were some of the great cultures that has lived with us. And so how do you feel about bringing those indigenous culture back into the scene?
Honestly, we feel like it's something that is just naturally coming across our path, you know, being the ones who are going to be the representation of the lineage of those cultures, you know. And I feel like it's naturally coming through us because that's where we come from. That's where most of us here are first generation born here in the US. Yeah. So we're very, very close to our roots still, you know. We could have well been born in our countries, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's like we could have like, you know, things could have turned around from us should this, you know, should, you know, the threats of this past administration would have pulled the trigger. Yeah. Anybody who's first generation could have also potentially been at risk, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how close, that just goes to show how close to our roots we are still. So as we were getting our wind under our wings in hardcore, we started to see that there was the diversity was starting to come with the music as well. And when there's diversity, there's opportunity for representation, and we just feel it natural to us to be able to want to represent our culture in a way that bridges the gap between the new and the old, and introduces it to a lot of people. And we feel like proud to be the ones that are, if we're the ones that are introducing it to people, then we feel grateful for the opportunity because of how proud we are of our culture, you know.
Sounds amazing. Thank you. And guys, finally, what would be the message for your fans around the world?
What do you guys want to tell the fans?
Be real, man.
I would say the overall message, at least for me, and I know the guys have things I want to add. The overall message from us would be to come experience it live, you know, come connect with us in a way where we can share what we're creating here in a moment where you could feel it as we feel it, which is through the live shows. And if you really want to get a real introduction to who we are as a band and as people, that would be the best place to do it.
Awesome, awesome. Sounds good.
Thank you for your time, brother. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I guess just be yourself and fucking don't let anyone tell you that you can't fucking do something, because that's bullshit. Also, just like be down for your people, show love, show support, just be a true friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't mean be friends with every single person in the world, but the people that you do have in your life. I've known all these dudes for over 10 years, and even when I lived in a different state, we still caught up, still family. Like, kind of to go back on to what you were saying about being on the road. This has nothing to do with me being on the road, but this band being on the road. I moved to Texas in 2011, and the day after I moved there, these dudes were on tour in Houston, Texas, where I lived, and they came to my house and they slept at my house. I went to the show. Like these people have been my family for more than half my life. So just stick with your people, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
be there for your family. Fred, my good buddy Fred right here. I'm in 3 bands with him now. So far, the other 2 bands that I'm in, he's also in. So like especially over the pandemic, I've gotten to get to know him a lot better and build chemistry, writing music, and just like a bunch of shit. So just keep your family, keep your people close, and fucking go after whatever the fuck you want, because no one can tell you can't. So that's what I got.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just stay true to yourself. Even when some people just, are punks to you, hey, life's not easy, but, you can always trust on yourself to be genuine and humble. I think that's worked for us. And I think everyone in this room is so humble and like appreciative of each other, but I also do understand that each of us are men here, we all come from very different walks of life. We have all been to some things that some of us will never even speak about, but as long as we can come together and make some music, you'd never know how far it's going to take you. So, find your niche and go with it, man.
It really sounds amazing. And guys, thank you so much for putting up an amazing album this year. And thank you for spreading the music around the world. That's absolutely beautiful thing. And thanks so much for the time that you have given me today to talk to you guys today. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.